But you just mentioned Chinese companies on U.S. exchanges, and I want to zero in on that because is it not true that so many Chinese companies are in our indexes and in, ETFs, and it enables American investors to buy those companies and, in effect, expand and fund the expansion of the Chinese Communist Party, our number one adversary? Why doesn't Joe Biden do something about that? We have the most liquid markets, and everybody wants to be in our markets. Isn't there a way to stop our number one adversary from being a part of that?
We do. We have the deepest capital markets in the world. The first thing that should be done is to require these companies to make disclosures that match those that we require every other country in the world to do, and not give the Chinese Communist Party an exception. We don't require the same accounting rules. All of those things are just different. We create an exception for the Chinese because, frankly, they've been big and they've created a lot of wealth for America. We should know this too. Just as they're now working against us in these capital marketplaces, using American money to fund what are Chinese Communist Party companies. There's no such thing as a private Chinese company. They're doing the same thing in our educational institutions. They are working against us there, providing money, research grants, paying for students to come in. Maria, they're at the center of so many American institutions, and we need to wake up, get this right, shape our policies to put them as an America First set of policies. And when we do, I'm convinced we'll prevail. I'm not worried about the Chinese Communist Party beating us. I'm worrying about us just standing down and allowing them to walk over us.
Well, has the president done anything about the thousands or tens of thousands of Chinese nationals that are coming into America through the open border? What do you make of that?
Yes, Maria, he's done something. He's welcomed them. He's processed them and said, I'll see you in a decade.
But why are they here?
Right. I say that facetiously. And look, you know this, Maria. The Chinese Communist Party has total control of who leaves their country. Anybody who came here from China would have had a real hard time escaping Chinese Communist Party. They went with Chinese Communist Party's permission. And so some number of these individuals, I think we're now in the tens of thousands who have come across in just the last handful of months, some of them are here doing the work of the Chinese Communist Party. This will come back to haunt us in the years ahead. You can write it down.
Let me address two other issues, given we are watching two wars underway right now. And, of course, you have talked about the impact of the botched withdrawal out of Afghanistan, which has certainly put our adversaries on the march. But in Russia, President Biden says he is about to put into place serious sanctions against Russia for its aggression against Ukraine and this ongoing war. Do you believe that will stop Putin?
When I hear Biden, serious, and sanctions in the same sentence, Maria, I laugh. They've had 2 years to actually put sanctions in place that would restrict the capacity for the Russian economy to grow and fund its military machine that's killing Ukrainian kids. I doubt seriously that whatever sanctions they're going to put in place in the coming weeks are going to do anything different. Frankly, we were talking about China. The Russians are selling their crude oil to China at the discount. The two of them are working together. The Iranian regime is sending missiles and high-end capabilities to Russia. None of the sanctions the Biden administration have put in place have been enforced at a level that actually make a material difference that can provide what Ukraine needs to ultimately defeat Vladimir Putin.
And the fact that China is selling the oil, that is why I pointed out the story earlier that Michael Schellenberger is reporting Chinese control over U.S. oil and gas is at the heart of the Biden family influence peddling, according to a whistleblower. But real quick, before you go on Israel, I know you just got back from Israel, Secretary. President Biden is trying to get Israel to do a ceasefire in its pushback and retaliation against Hamas. Your thoughts?
It's tragic. President Biden hasn't been able to identify who the good guys are and the bad guys there. It's a consistent problem. Just this week, the Biden administration upended what was known as the Pompeo doctrine, where we said that, no, it's okay for the Jewish people to live in Judea and Samaria. And he upended it, just flipped the script, and now told them these people are occupiers. They're illegal. To do that only supports Hamas in Iran. It encourages Israel's adversaries to stay in the fight and to put pressure on the Israeli government. They've got the wrong end of the stick. Israel needs to do what it needs to do to close this out, this threat from Hamas. I'm confident that they will do so. But the United States needs to stand strong with the people who are in their rightful homeland, the Jews in their rightful homeland in Israel. If we get that right, the Gulf states will be with us, Israel will be with us, and Iran will be contained.
Great to have you this morning, Secretary. Thanks very much. Secretary of State
Maria.
Mike
Bless
Pompeo.
you. Have a good day.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.